welcome back to the Gypsy Bird Makes podcast. I have a lot of new followers, so I just want to say welcome. I'm so glad to have all of you here. I hope that you are enjoying the podcast and the little videos I've been putting out. I really appreciate it. I thought I'd do maybe a little introduction since there's so many new people. So I'm Bethany. I am the one that is running this crazy little podcast shenanigan. I am a mom and a wife, and my husband is a travel nurse. And he travels all over the country, and we travel with him in our fifth wheel. We're about to have a move coming up very soon, actually. And I have 3 kids, a daughter and 2 boys. I've been knitting for about 3 years, and I learned to crochet 10 years ago. But I don't really crochet that much anymore because knitting kind of took over, and that's more my passion now. So that's me in a nutshell. And yeah, I really don't know what else to say about it except that's me. And welcome. We're so glad to have you. So I have a bunch of finished objects to show you, some new projects, and yeah, some exciting stuff coming up. So let's get to it. So I have 9 finished objects for you this month. A lot of them are really small, so it won't be that exciting, but I am wearing one of my finished objects. This is the DK Brioche Hug by Cozy Up Knits, and it's actually going to be coming out really soon. So I love this pattern so much. It is amazing. I'll put in some video or probably just some pictures for you of this beautiful cardigan. It is made with DK yarn from wool and vinyl. It is the Hard Rock DK, and I love it so much. So I was test knitting this for Cozy Up Knits, and I love it. I have worn it every day since I finished it, and I don't want to take it off because it's so cool, and it's just so squishy and beautiful, and I love the colors that I picked out. So yeah, I really love it. Can you tell? The release date, they said they're going to try to put it out this week, so whenever the pattern does come out, I'm going to link it down below for you guys. So if you don't see a link for it yet, that means it hasn't released, but if it has released, then the link will be there. I highly recommend it. It's a great pattern. It works up really quickly, and brioche is not scary, so don't be afraid to try it. Yeah, it's beautiful, it's fun, and I love it. I just love it. I used, again, wool and vinyl. I used, these are the colors that I used, just to let you know. It's Wicked Annabelle was the main color, which is this cream, and then we have, let me see if I can go from the top. This purple up here was Sweet Dreams Are Made of This, and then we have Monster Mash, and then Lullaby, and the bottom one was Super Creeps. It's just down here. Oh, it's not even focusing on it. Let's see if it'll focus. There we go. How pretty this is. Oh, sorry, it doesn't like focus. Anyways, it's a gorgeous pattern. Highly recommend it. I think Cozy Up Knits also has a fingering weight version, so you could try that out if you have a whole bunch of fingering. But yeah, I love it so much. Okay, the second thing that I finished this month were some, let me get them out of here real fast, some dishcloths. So I have, these are Grandma's dishcloths, and I made 3 of them. You can see here. They're just really simple. I had some cotton laying around and made these up. So these are going to be a gift. I made 2 in the gray. Let me see if I can take off there. 2 in the gray. Focus, there we go. And then I kind of ran out of gray, so I improvised with black right there, and I think that looks kind of cool. So, and for these dishcloths, I made the no hole version. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, which all of the projects that I talk about will be linked down below, so you can easily access them. But yeah, super easy, super fun. I think I knit these in about a day or two. So that was a quick little knit. And then the next things that I finished, I made 2 of these. My sister Sabra had made this previously, and I really liked it and was like, hey, I want to make that. So I went snooping and found out which pattern she used, and made these. It's called the At Your Service Knit Cloth, and that's by Yarnspiration Design Studios. So this just goes over your handle of your oven for a little cloth, and it worked out really well. I love this seed stitch pattern. I don't love doing it, but I did really love how it came out. So I made this one that is in gray, and then I also made this blue one right here. But for the blue one, I did not do the seed stitch. I just did stockinette, which I think works just as well as the other. So you can see the 2 differences. So yeah, I finished those, which was nice, and they're all going to be gifts. So yay for gift knits. My friend Helen Jo and I swapped 50 gram skeins, or we split skeins into 50 grams and swapped them, kind of like a share a pair, and decided to make some socks with them. So we made the Fernweh, I think is how you say that, Fernweh Socks by Knitting Expat, or Nina. And yeah, they were really fun to make. So this is the pattern. So the main color is the yarn that Helen Jo sent me, and then the cuff, heel, and toe is the one that I had. So we made these. I love how they turned out, and we both made them basically the same way with the colors, except she did toe up and I did cuff down. But we had a lot of fun making these together. The pattern was super fun, just like a slip stitch type design, and yeah, it was really fun. I love knitting things with other people and getting to see like how you knit them differently but using the same things. In this case, we both of ours looked pretty similar. I'll try to remember to put a picture up of hers, her pair, so that you can see it too. But yeah, that was fun, and that was first pair of socks that I finished this month. I do have the second one right there, and I used the oh, please have written it down. Yes, Shadow Wrap Heel. I can never ever remember that ever. I don't know why, but I used the Shadow Wrap Heel. But I'm thinking, I've worn a few socks with the Shadow Wrap Heel, and I don't think I like it. I love knitting it because it's super fast, and you know, you don't have to pick up any stitches or put any stitches on hold or anything like that. But I really do think a heel flap and gusset fits my foot better. So probably be doing less Shadow Wrap heels in the future, for me at least, but that's okay. It will still get worn. So these can now go in my sock drawer, which I'm excited about. I almost put them away the other day, and then I realized, nope, I still have to tell you guys about them. So I did 60 stitches for that, and I used, 18 grams of the contrast for these, and then I used 41 grams of the main color for those. So it worked out really well, and I still have a lot of green left over. So that'll be heels and toes and cuffs again. And then the next pair of socks that I finished was with my friend Stephanie. Me and Stephanie got to share a pair, and we were able to knit up some socks together. And I love this because hers looks completely different than mine. She did a different method, or how do I say it? She did like different colors, like swap the colors from what I did. So this is a share a pair set from Mandy's Making. I love how it turns out. I love this orange. I'm not normally an orange person, but I really like how that one turned out. And let me show you, I did a, what is it called? An Eye of Partridge heel, which I had done at the very beginning of my knitting escapades, and liked it, but then never really went back to it. So I was like, hey, I want to do something different. I want to do a heel flap and gusset on this one. And yeah, I really like the Eye of Partridge. So that will probably be one that you'll be seeing a lot in the future. And then this is my join side for anyone who wants to see how those stitches lined up. For mine, I did 3 blue rows, 1 orange, 2 blue, 1 orange, and repeated that. I didn't want to do 2 and 2. For one, I was worried that I was going to run out of the orange if I did that and did the heels and cuffs, because I like my share pairs to match. I don't like to swap the colors of the heels and cuffs for each sock. That just bugs me. Personal preference. So yeah, that was really fun. And then I'll pop a picture of Stephanie's up. Hers are beautiful, and that's the joy of making these, is you can pick different colors for different parts of the sock, and they turn out looking completely different even though they were identical skeins of yarn. So that was really fun, and thank you, Stephanie, for doing that with me. It was a lot of fun and I really enjoyed it. Let me see, do I have any other notes for that? I used 26 grams of both blue, the Countryside Drive, and the orange, which was Harvest Sky. So I used the exact amount, which is kind of weird, but I did. I had some more gift knitting that I needed to do. So I have a cousin who just had a baby, and then I have a sister-in-law who is about to have a baby. So I needed to make up some baby items for them. And I started with my cousin because we're going, I'll talk about it later, but we're going to go up and visit some family, and I figured I was going to maybe see the baby, so I wanted to at least have a gift for her either way, like no pressure to see her because she just had this kid like a week ago. So she had a little boy, and I decided to make the Easy Peasy Newborn Sock Hat by Kay McKiernan, I think is how you say that. So this is what I used. This is the little guy. Isn't it cute? It's absolutely tiny and adorable. I used sock yarn from 2020 Sock Week from Sweet Tea Yarns, and I used 13 grams was all it took to make this. And I used a size US 3 millimeter or 3.25 millimeter. Super fun. Not really a big fan of the little bit on the top. That was weird after I made it, but yeah, super cute. So I made that for her, and then I ended up a week later making another one, but this one is going to be for my niece, and this one is made with leftover I love this yarn, Skeined Up yarn from Hobby Lobby. And for this one, let's see, how much did I use? I didn't write it down. I think I used like 15 grams of this one because I made it longer than it was supposed to be. And I didn't do the top little thing on it, which I think looks better without it. It's just a little awkward. Anyways, okay. So there's a story with this. So I made this cute little hat because I was thinking it's summertime, it's going to be summertime soon, and it's going to be hot, and you're not going to put a 3 to 6 month old or a 0 to 3 month old in a hat during the summertime. So I was like, I'll make a newborn one, and then it'll be able to be used for a little bit, and I'll be good. So then my cousin had her baby, and said baby was over 9 pounds. And I was like, ooh, not sure that hat's going to fit a 9-pound baby. So I scratched that. I was like, well, we'll just save that for someone else who's going to have a baby boy someday in the future. And I decided that I would make another hat that's a little bigger. And if it's a little big on the kid, then that's fine, you know. I'd rather it be a little too big than too small. So I made the two-faced toque by Emma LK. I've made this pattern before and it always knits up beautifully. It's one of my favorite baby hats. So look at that. It's like a little two-color repeat, and I just love it. So with this, I used the same yarn. I used the Sock Week yarn for the striping, and then I used my leftover yarn from these socks to make the hat. Isn't that fun? Look how different it looks though. So this one is a size 3 to 6 months, and it should fit a 9-pound baby. So super pretty. I used let me see, where do I have my info? I used a US 3 again for this, 14 grams of the main color, and then 4 grams of the contrasting color. After making this boy one of these hats, it doesn't really sound right, but after making this one in the blues, I really loved it, and I was like, hey, I can make one for my upcoming niece. So that's what I did, and I made this one. Try not to get it too washed out, but this one I made the same size, same needles, all that jazz, but I also used leftover yarn, and I used my leftover yarn of the orange for the contrasting on this one. And then I also used Mama Just Knits Fog on the Mountain for the main color. That was socks that I made last month with those. So yeah, it was really fun to make those, and they were really quick knits. I made them like 2 days, and they're so cute. Look how cute, look how pretty that orange is with that. It was like these yarns were made for each other. And it's 1x1 ribbing on the bottom, so this will be great for my niece in the fall winter. So yeah, hopefully she will enjoy that. So is that all? I think that's all. Is that all 9 things? I told you they weren't very exciting, but I mean, this one is the most exciting. I finished this mid-month, and then after that I went crazy with making all the little things because I needed to finish things. And I had deadlines that I needed these done. So I think 9 finished items is pretty good for the month. Moving on to works in progress. I have 2 works in progress at the moment, and I'm excited to show you. So the first one I have is called, I believe it's Belleterre Cardigan, or I think it's just Beltera. I might be saying that wrong. If you know how to say that correctly and I'm saying it wrong, let me know in the comments, because I am not the best at pronouncing things. This is a pattern by Amy Christophers, and it is so pretty. I've talked about this one multiple times, saying that I wanted to make it, so I finally swatched and took the plunge, but there's a story to go with this as well. So at first I was going to do this purple color. Here, let me show you. This purple, there we go, this purple color with a white, and I swatched for that. Let me find my swatch and I'll show you. This is what it looked like. Ooh, there we go. So I swatched for that, and that's what it looked like. And I was kind of like, it's okay. I'm not really sure if I love it, but I was like, I'm just gonna go with it. I'm sure I'm gonna love it once it fades on in and I get going. So I was knitting along, and I got to a certain point in the pattern, and my stitch count was way off, like 30 stitches off, and I was like, well, I don't think that's right. So I ripped it out, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to going to think about this. Maybe I don't want to use this color. And I'll pop the photo in of how far I had gotten and what it looked like. And I just wasn't loving the marl look. I don't know. It wasn't my favorite. My sister loved it and she said to keep going, but I was just like, ugh, I don't think I'm going to like it. So I started doing some math, and I was like, I had the skeins that I wanted to use was Yarn Cafe Creations, and that was I have 3 of Plum Pudding, which is this color, and then I have 2 of Pixie, just let me show you, which is this one. So they're they're kind of similar, but I think they're gonna go so well together. So I have 5 skeins total, and I was like doing the math, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have way more yarn than I need if I want to just double up this yarn. And there's some random guy running. So sorry, distracted. But I was like, I'm gonna have plenty of yarn if I just want to double it and not use the white at all. So that's what I did. And then I realized that when I factored that, I don't think, I'm still not 100% sure, but I don't think that I factored it to hold the yarn double while doing it. So I think I have like 19,000 yards. Is that right? I don't know. I have a lot, but I think I'm going to run out. But that hasn't stopped me from just chugging along on this thing. And I think that this particular, what is it called? Ply yarn? Oh, base, that's the word I was looking for. This particular base, I don't think Christy of Yarn Cafe Creations carries anymore. It's the Bonbon Sock 2-ply. So I need to also look into that. So yeah, I'm not really sure I'm not sure if this is gonna end well or not. So if any of you have this yarn and aren't wanting it, I will happily buy some from you. Bonbon Sock 2-ply and Plum Pudding or Pixie. I'm not picky. So yeah, you could help a girl out if you have some. But I'm sure I could probably find something similar or something. I don't know. It'll work out. I'm trusting that it's going to work out. I'm just going to keep on chugging on and, go. So fingers crossed, y'all. I've gotten past the point of where I was before I ripped it out. So that is making me happy. And I really, really love the fabric. Love how it is. This is Fisherman's Rib, and this is Brioche, but they look a lot alike. Like, oh my gosh, don't they look like almost identical? Of course, this is one color. Maybe that's the difference between the two. I am not a skilled knitter in knowing these things, so I'm really loving it. And it looks a lot like this, and it's about the same weight. But I'm holding 2 strands of fingering together. I think the pattern calls for, what does the pattern call for? I think it calls for sport weight, maybe? I can't remember. I'll put it on the screen for you. But I got gauged with this. I actually had to go down some needle sizes, which I thought I would have to go up, I think. But yeah, so I kind of started this April 21st, but I ripped it out. So my real start date is April 26th. That's what I'm going with. And I got 14 stitches per 4 inches, if that means anything to anyone. But it was in my notes, so I thought I would say it. But let me tell you about what I am using here. This is a little Soot Sprite, hold still, Soot Sprite Progress Keeper from Simply Serving. It is from a Ghibli movie, which is anime that my daughter loves, and is the one thing I liked when I watched the movie. So that made me want to get that. I am using a bag by Jenny of Mountain State Stitches. I've had this one for a while and I love this one. Very spring-like. And then all my yarn is like piled up in here. You see that? So I have all the yarn in there, and I am using, these are amazing. These are Yarn Cozy Lights by Nitty Natty. I have a whole arsenal of these that I absolutely love. So I have all of my yarn in those. And I'm using Xiaogu needles like I always do. Those are the only ones I use. So hopefully next month this will be done or farther along, and maybe I'll actually, you know, have my life together and know what's actually happening with it. We'll see. I don't know. My next work in progress is so new I didn't even have it in my notes. So I had to go run and get my iPad so that I can look on Ravelry and tell you what its name even is. So this next one is a baby cardigan, and it's going to be for my niece because it was being born in June. And it's the Pinson Cardigan, I believe. I believe it's just called Pinson on Ravelry. And it is by the person that is over here in the description, because I'm not even going to try to say her name. But she is the same designer of the Precious Cow that I made a few months ago. I think that was that last month or 2 months ago? I don't remember. Anyways, she's the same designer. And I really like her stuff. So I decided to start this. I gauge swatched and had a US 4 that I needed. I am making the 6-month size, and I am using my friend Natalie's yarn of Blush Yarns. I'm using the pink that you're going to see is Roses, and then the contrast color is Light April Showers, which is gorgeous. I love them. This is part of a brioche along that I'm doing with my knitting group, and we had to start May 1st or after, so I've had this yarn caked up and ready to go for a while, but I knew I had to wait until May 1st to cast on, and then I didn't cast on until May 2nd, so yeah. So here we go. I started it last night. It is so pretty. I love this. I'm about to get to the point where I have to do brioche increases, and I'm a little scared. So this is the beginning. The brioche is so fun, and doing it with the fingering weight yarn is really fun as well. So I just started this. It's gonna be for my niece, so it just has to be done this month sometime. I want to get past the like arm separation, so that I can just do the stockinette for the pattern like while we're on our road trip. I'll tell you more about that later, but that's what I'm trying. My goal is to get past that, so I'm going to try to work on this some tonight. I'd also like to get the beltera at the same place, but I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, I really love this, using my Xiaogu needles again, and then this is the little stitch marker, which is by Lock and Lou. It is so cute. I got this last month and I love it. I've used it on a couple of the projects. But this is the yarn that is the contrast color, and I made a pair of socks with this yarn last year. I really loved it and wanted to use something special, so I thought using Natalie's yarn for both would be perfect. And this is, of course, in another Jenny bag. Oh, here's Stormy. Hi, Stormy. This is in another bag by Mountain State Stitches, and yeah, I think this is the first one I got from her. But you all know I love Jenny's bags. So those are all of my works in progress, but I do have a few things caked up that I'm planning to make, so we'll talk about that next. Looking forward, I have a few plans of what I would like to get done this month. but I'm trying not to put too much pressure on myself because we have quite a crazy month ahead of us. So we will be in the car a lot, and I need some things that I can work on that aren't gonna be too hard, but like just stockinette mostly. So I've been trying to think of some things to do. I had like a whole winding party the other day. It was just me. I was the only one at the party. But I wound up some yarn and got some things together. And then, yeah, I've already started most of those things. So that was kind of a fail. But I did wind this up. This is some Barocco yarn. This is, let me see, Ultra Alpaca and Barocco, and it is, I believe it's a, what weight are you? 4. It's in 4, so like a DK-ish, I believe. So this is their little label, and this is the yarn. I got this a few months ago in Raleigh at a local yarn store, and yeah, my husband wants some fingerless gloves, so I am going to make him some with this. He had some previously in a yarn very similar to this, but the dogs got a hold of it and those gloves are no more. So he needs a new pair, and I wanted to make him a different pattern. I haven't decided on the pattern. I have a couple that I'm thinking about. Let me show you which ones I'm thinking about. I have Ravelry right here. So I have to run it by him to see which ones he would like. But let me see. There is, I'll put pictures on the screen for you, but one is shreds of fog mitts. I really like those. And the other is Peterswell. I like both of those a whole bunch. I'm going to probably let him pick as long as I know that I'm going to have enough yardage for either one. He has big hands. So this has 219 yards. So we'll have to see. I'll have to do that. I should do that this week. Yeah, maybe. So I have that. I also have, I've talked about this before. What are these called? I always forget. Wisteria Bloom, that's what they're called. So I still want to make the Wisteria Bloom socks, and these are the yarns that I want to make it with. This is from leftover from the Bronte Sisters shawl. Also Yarn Cafe Creations. So I want to make those, but I don't know if that's going to be a road trip cast on or not. But I have them in a bag already. It's another Jenny bag. This is her sock size. So these are holed up in there waiting for a cast on. I also just went to the local yarn store this past Saturday. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. This past Saturday, I went to the yarn store and met some friends. You can see all of the fun shenanigans that we got up to and what we ended up buying, or what I ended up buying while there. It was the local yarn. It was local yarn store day, LYS day, and I have a video that I will link. I think it'll be up here, maybe, or maybe it'll be up here. One of these two places. There will be a link for you, and you can go see that. And you can also see what I purchased. I'm not going to show that again in this video since I already showed it over on that one. It's only 8 minutes, so it's really fast. But there's a pair of socks that I want to make for my husband out of one of the skeins that I got. And then the other two, I don't know what I'm going to do with yet. But I need to wind that up so I can do that, because that'll be the perfect road trip project. Yeah, we'll see. So I want to do that. I know maybe the Wisteria Bloom. I also have these other two projects. I don't like to have too many things on the needles because I get stressed, and then I'll focus on one thing and forget all the others, and then feel like I can't start anything else because I have these other things on the needles. So I'm going to try to keep it low. some road trip ones, some of these. Yes. I also want to make myself a shawl. After making the Bronte sister shawl, I really, really loved it, and I love the process of making it, and I really didn't want to give it away. So I'm not going to make that same pattern probably, but I do want to make another lacy type shawl. I don't think that will be a car ride thing at all, but it is something that I want to look at and try to find, and I'd like to use some skeins that are in my stash. No idea which skeins I want to use, but that'll probably depend on which shawl I decide on. But I would like to do that, and yeah, that was it. There isn't going to be a acquisitions part of this one, of this podcast, because I didn't buy anything. I literally, the only things that I got this month were at the yarn store the other day. So go check out that video and you can see the 3 different skeins that I got. But the only other thing that I hadn't shown you that I purchased this back in March, was the Share a Pair set. So that was an acquisition, but I didn't want to show it because my friend Stephanie watches and I didn't want her to see it. So this is technically a late acquisition. And I have my May the 4th box coming from Fangirl Fibers. However, it is going to be late and not arriving until it's shipped, but I don't think it's going to arrive until a couple days from now. And it's actually been shipped to my sister now because I'm going to be visiting her. So I won't have that, but I will show you next month what all the goodies are in that. So no acquisitions. I think that is fair since last month I was like ridiculous on acquisitions. So we have a lot of big things happening this month, actually happening in like 2 days. It is currently May 3rd of 2020, and on the 5th we are moving. So my husband found out where he is going to be moving to, or where his new job is going to be. It was kind of a process this time and really strange, not like other times. This will be our, let's see, how many assignments have we had? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is our 11th assignment, I think. Yes, our 11th place. He's had extensions at almost every place that he's worked. So how travel nursing works, if you're not aware, is that these hospitals contract a nurse for normally 13 weeks, and the nurse goes and works his 3 days a week, or whatever's in the contract. And then sometimes there is the ability to extend that, which is normally another 13 weeks, which equals out to be about 3 to 6 months. So we've been here in Raleigh since October, so that will have been 6 months. Our next place we're hoping will only be 3 months, but you never know. We could end up extending and staying there longer. We'll just see where God leads us. But we're very, very grateful because God provided. He provided everything that we were praying for recently. So we're really, really thankful and really excited. I'm not going to tell you where we're going, although I know a lot of you do know who watch this. So for those who don't know, why don't you leave a comment down below where you think we might be going. I will tell you that it is going to be hot where we are going, and it's somewhere. We have lived in this state before, but we haven't been through or lived in this city before. So I will tell you that. So you can give me your best guesses down below. I am planning to vlog the whole move. That's the plan. We'll see, because it can get stressful. we are first going to go visit my family up in Virginia, and then we're going to go to my sister's house down in Georgia, which technically my sister Sabra is my husband's sister. But I have always said, if anything ever happened to me and Brian, like we split up, which God willing will never happen, I get her. She is my sister. He does not get her. So she's my sister. So we're going to go up and visit family in Virginia. I have some like doctor's appointments and things like that. And then we will be going to Georgia to spend time with my sister for a few days, and then heading on to our destination. So I'm not sure if it'll be one vlog or if it'll be like multiple vlogs. We'll see how the travel goes, how the footage goes, how my time goes, but I will have something out there for you. Hopefully. And hopefully you'll enjoy that. If not, then just skip those, I guess. But yeah, I'm excited. This will be the first time that we are taking the fifth wheel anywhere. We got our truck, which was also a big thing, and God definitely blessed us with that. We put the huge hitch thing in the back of the truck. So that was interesting. Yeah, it's crazy because the day this comes out is the day that we will be moving. So if you see this, please be praying that we have safe travels. I would most greatly appreciate that. We'll be traveling from the 5th until I believe it's the 16th. So, or maybe I think it's the 16th. So like 12 days. Yeah, so it's going to be long, and I'm going to need lots of knitting projects. We are going down to just one vehicle. So before, when we had the tiny house, I would always drive behind Brian. While he pulled the house in the truck, I would be in the car behind. But now we've decided that we want to try to all just stay in one vehicle. So I will not be driving the whole time, which is really, really exciting because it was exhausting for both of us to be driving like 300, 400 miles a day for a week at a time, which we have done before. It's crazy, but I'm really excited because I'm going to get to drive some, but I'm going to be pulling the house, which is really scary. And then he's going to drive probably more than me, because I'm probably going to go slow. I am not a slow driver in general, but pulling this is going to be scary. So I haven't done it yet. The most I've done is pull. When we had the tiny house, I pulled from one gas tank to the next, like at a gas station. And I was like, yep, I'm done. Thanks. That was fun. So this will be an experience, but I trust that God's going to take care of it all. That's what my anxiety needs. Speaking of anxiety, I have been so much better this month. My meds kicked in and I feel like myself again. So it's really, really nice to not have that hovering over me. So thank you for anyone who reached out and who has sent prayers my way. I really, really appreciate it. And if you guys ever have anything that you need prayers for, feel free to message me on Instagram or to comment down below, and I would be more than happy to add you to my prayer book. Let me think. What else? So that's going to be a crazy month. So I'll tell you all about it in the vlog and in next month's podcast, which will have a different view behind us, which has gotten dark since we've been sitting here. I've been talking too long. But yeah. So this month also, what was I watching and reading? So my knitting group has a book club and they chose Bridgerton to read this month. And I kind of been wanting to read that anyways because I love the show. So it was like, yeah, I'll read it. I hadn't read any of the other books with the knitting group. I have to be in the mood to read. I'm not someone who reads all the time. So I read that one. I read The Duke and I, and then I also read the second book, which was The Viscount Who Loved Me, I think that's what it's called. But those two books are not like the show. No. It's very, very different, especially the second season and the second book. They are completely opposite of what happened. No, they're nothing alike. It's like they vaguely based it off of this book. They just took the names of the people, and that was basically what it is. But I enjoyed both. So I also rewatched Bridgerton season 1 and season 2 because I had read the books and I kind of wanted to refresh what it was. So that was fun. I just finished it. Now I'm sad because I really want to see Benedict's season. And I also have the 3rd book, which is Benedict's, to start. But that probably won't be happening till after we move. So, but I have it ready. My husband and I also were binging the last 2 seasons of Star Trek Discovery. We don't normally have Paramount Plus, the app, so we always wait till the season's over and then kind of binge it. So we're not paying for months worth. And then we also started on Picard season 2, which I am a huge Star Trek fan. I'm a Trekkie. I grew up like from an itty bitty thing watching Next Generation. So seeing Picard is amazing, and Voyager was always my favorite, so 7 of 9 on there just makes my day. But the 2nd season has been really well done and is really good, and it involves the Borg, which are my favorite. So we're almost done with that. We'll probably finish that up this week, and then I don't know what we're gonna watch next. We have quite a few things we need to watch, but we'll see. So those were what I was watching and reading. Trying to think of anything else. I think that's basically it. I don't plan to buy anything this month unless I go to a yarn store with along our journeys. But yeah, I'm not planning to have an acquisitions next month. Although I should show you May the 4th. But I said that last month too, didn't I? Well, I'm exhausted. I've spent all day cleaning the house from top to bottom in preparation of the move. So I'm going to go sit down, edit this video, and do some knitting. I will see you guys next month, and I hope you have a great May. Thought someone just pulled in, but they didn't. Okay. Oh, you're still going. Okay, then. Oof. Why didn't I write that down? Ugh. Oh, I'm attached. Dang. Dang. I was hoping it would rain while we did this, but oh, such luck.